Welcome to Around the XFF with Chargers Chris and Tampa Adam. We're going to be looking at some of the matchups going on around the league right now and talking about different storylines and how teams were last year and just generally what's going on around the league. How you doing, Adam?
I'm good, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing well. So really defensive, dominant games across the NFL today.
Yeah, week one. I mean, I think a lot of us come to expect offenses don't gel for a few weeks. It's a defensive dominated game for the first few weeks of the year. So kind of expected low scoring games. But yeah, it's kind of surprising. A lot of the veterans didn't show up today that usually do. So
Yeah. The only team of the early games that looked like they had it together was the 49ers, stomping Pittsburgh.
yeah. I guess Ayuk had a day.
Yeah. Put up 33 points for Ron, who is looks like he's going to pull it out over San Francisco in an upset.
Yeah, I was kind of leaning Ron anyways. San Francisco, it's kind of almost like they haven't been here this offseason. You know, I put on chat that they were over cap, they were over players, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, maybe a busy life right now, but it kind of seemed a little checked out this offseason.
Yeah, team running on fumes a little bit after being pretty dominant for a few years. The Chargers and Rams, the Rams and Cardinals, it's pretty close still. They've got the Cardinals projected to pull out, but that's a good one between Kevin, who's been pretty dominant year over year, and who is it? Vic that owns the Cardinals?
It is, or a lot of people say it's Koo, but
Koo too.
Koo too.
Yeah, but after going 3-14 last year, if you can pull it out over the Rams, that'd be a great start to the season.
Yes. He's also another guy who all the NFC guys say, "Oh, I sent something in your inbox. Why aren't you responding?"
Mm-hmm. He did bring in Ridley this offseason. Got him off of Panthers Dustin. Ridley had a pretty good day today.
Yes, I saw that. Especially after not playing all last year, I was surprised about that.
Yeah.
I mean, Colts defense I knew was going to be suspect. A couple new corners in that defense, but it was not good.
Yeah, so we'll be watching the Rams and Cardinals moving into tonight and tomorrow if they've got any Monday guys playing. You and Dustin are slugging it out, but it looks like you're going to pull it out.
Looking that way. I mean, he has Saquon left. He can put up monster numbers any week.
He's got Parsons left.
What about T. Higgins putting up a 0? That's just wild. I mean, Cincinnati got crushed.
Yeah.
I never would have thought that. So that was wild. Plus, he started the Bengals offense, so that was a double whammy. He got 0.2 points out of those two starters he had.
Yeah. I thought he rolled the dice starting DeAndre Swift. Looking through his offense, I don't see who else he could have started. I mean, maybe Swift will get some points, but that's such a committee there in Philly.
Yes, agreed. I mean, yeah, I don't see anybody else he would have started either. So
yeah, that's tough. Atlanta and the Saints look like Reggie's set up to win. He had Justin Jefferson go off today and McCaffrey, two of the players on offense who did have good days today. and quite a few fantastic defensive showings for him.
Yeah, still has Dak left to play.
Yeah, yeah. He and the Saints tied records last year at 13-4 apiece, so I'm sure he's happy to decisively win this one today.
Yeah, Roquan, Jesus, I'm just seeing that he had himself a day.
Yeah, and look at Antoine Winfield.
Yeah, forced fumble recovery, a sack. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Zaire Franklin. Yep. So I was watching the Indy linebackers too, and EJ Speed outscored Shaq Leonard. I think that's something definitely to look into and see who was actually on the field more tomorrow. So, see who that number 2 might actually be.
Obviously, I'm a Colts homer. I wasn't watching the game. I listened to it all. EJ Speed should have been playing strong side linebacker. But I mean, Shaq was coming off. They didn't even know if he was going to play. He had the concussion protocol. He's coming off the injury. He hasn't practiced very much at all. So I think it's going to take a couple weeks to get his feet under him.
Easing him in there.
Yeah.
And Azeez Al-Shaair, man, only put up 10 points. He was outscored by Jack Gibbons. I think that's another situation to have to look at if you own either of those two. Figure out if it was just an off game, if plays just didn't go towards Al-Shaair, or is Gibbons the one you want there?
Gibbons is middle linebacker, right?
I heard him saying that on the broadcast today, but a lot of the IDP people I was following all offseason, even up until the start of the season, were touting Al-Shaair. Someone literally the other day was saying that Gibbons is LB2, but not an LB2 you'd be interested in, and he outscored today. So
yeah, I was interested. I got him in my other league, but yeah, I don't know going forward. I guess we'll see, but I'm pretty sure he's middle linebacker and in that defense. I think.
Right.
I think that's what you want. So.
Minnesota and the Lions. Minnesota was 9-8 last year. The Lions were 4-13. It looks like the Lions might be pulling this one out. Minnesota shipped out Aaron Jones, who's having quite a game right now. Brought in D-Hop. Brought in Drake Jackson, who they didn't start today, but really went off with how many points did Drake Jackson have? 33 points, 3 tackles, and 3 sacks. They also brought in Cam Hayward, who put up a 0 today.
Yeah, that's I still can't believe that a 0 for Cam.
Yeah, that's wild. Looks like the Lions are going to start off on the right foot this year. See if that can maintain. Tyler Algier, man, putting up almost 26 points, even with Bijan there. That was interesting to see.
So what did Bijan score?
I think he scored 20. He had a receiving touchdown, and he had some yardage. Let me look at Cam's. Yeah, 10 for 56, reception, 6 for 27, and 1 receiving touchdown for 19.3 points. So, looks like they may be using both of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected that, but.
Dude, that Atlanta game was painful to watch. I got 0 points out of Drake London. Towards the end of the game, I think he had 1 target, 0 receptions. Pitts barely put up anything.
Yeah, I was obviously I didn't watch any games today. Like I said, I was traveling, but I was looking at Treylon Burks, and until like the final few minutes, he had 0 points, and then he ended up with like 2 receptions for 18 yards. I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah. Hopefully this is just some week 1 shit, but that was That was painful to watch. Having a big fat 0 for Drake London.
You know what hurts? I got Noah Fant starting for my tight end, and I never start rookie tight ends, no matter where I draft them. Obviously, I drafted Sam Laporta high, but he went off for almost 12 points his first game ever. And here I'm sitting with a veteran, decent veteran, with 0 points.
Yeah. Yep.
That's why we play the game, right, Chris?
Yep. Looking at your old franchise, the Bears, look like they're beating the Packers, or going to anyway. Though this could be close. They're not super separated on points. They've got the Bears projected to pull it out though. But with six left to play, I think the Bears are going to do it.
Packers got Rodgers. Look at Goddard, 0 points. Wow. And again, I wouldn't have expected Philly to score 25 points, and game's not over yet, but Goddard has 0 points.
Yeah. I wonder who's been covering him for the Patriots. Tua looking good for the Bears, 28 points almost. Chubb had a good day. Christian Kirk with 1.9, man. That was surprising too.
Yeah. Because Jacksonville kept going down the field, and then they would turn it over, and then they go down the field, and they turn it over. And
yep.
They were putting up some yardage.
Who's the 3 in Jacksonville? Jones? Is Zay Jones still it?
Zay Jones is 3, yeah.
Yeah, he had a pretty decent day today. I kept hearing his name called out.
Yeah.
And Kirk had 1 reception.
Yeah.
Looks like Philly John is going to beat the Commanders today. Kamish had a really kind of a get-right year last year. Pulled his record up to 11-6 and won that division with John behind him at 9-8. The Kamish, he made some moves this offseason. He shipped out 2 firsts, DeAndre Hopkins, George Karlaftis, somebody else, all for Travis Kelce, who, of course, we know couldn't get to start for him today. And he also gave up Jalen Waddle, a 2 and some change for Devontae Adams. I almost wonder if he would have been better off not making either of those moves.
Yeah, I guess he thought it's win now mode, but now you got 2 players that are 31 plus. Their stock could, both of them, they could tank this year, and then you get nothing. I mean,
yeah. And if Kelce comes back, Kelce, sure, that's good. But I mean, to have the youth, to give up Karlaftis, who may turn out to be something at DE, and DeAndre Hopkins, I don't know. Giving up Waddle and plus for Adams though was not something I think I would do.
Yeah, and then you see a defensive tackle for him, Derek Brown from the Panthers, sitting on his bench with 36 points. That hurts.
Yeah. He might be standing out for John. Brian Robinson. He started Robinson and Gibson.
That's interesting. I'm going to see if there was anybody else he could have.
Jacoby Myers is having quite a game.
Yeah, he is. 30 points.
So he's got Jerome Baker in there. I was a Baker owner and got tired of how up and down he was. Put up 45 points one week and
3 the next.
Yep. Yeah, but it looks like John's going to start the the year over the commish this year. Dallas and the Giants are going back and forth. Those percentages keep jumping around. Houston could not get shit going today. I see the Giants have Dalton Schultz starting there.
Yeah.
They made the massive trade for Bijan this offseason.
What were you kind of surprised that the Cardinals, NFL Cardinals, kept it close with the Redskins? I mean, they won by 4, but
I was surprised, yeah. Mostly because I thought the Commanders' defense was going to be better.
I guess.
I didn't know what to expect out of their offense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought their defense would have smothered the Cardinals. Though James Conner hardly got anything going. I guess more than anything, I was surprised at how well Dobbs and the receivers did. Even though I don't think any of them put up any massive fantasy points.
Right.
Daxton Hill looked really good today, starting. And you know who else looked really good for Cincinnati? Nick Scott looked good. They brought him in from the Rams this offseason. There was some back and forth questioning over, what he was going to play with Daxton Hill there in kind of a crowded secondary. But Hill and Scott both had pretty good days today. Just really, like we said earlier, really defensive dominated games today. All these offenses are trying to gel.
Looking at the Cowboys roster, though, he only started 1 wide receiver, 3 running backs, 1 wide receiver, 2 tight ends. You don't see that very often.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so go ahead.
Isaiah Likely over Hurst on his bench. That was a surprise. Hayden Hurst today for Carolina and how targeted he was.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll be something positive for him moving forward. Broncos and the Raiders. Koo's kind of fallen off a cliff here the last year and a half. Tyreek's having a really good game for him. Evans had a good game. A couple of bright spots on offense today. Yeah, overall, just no juice to his team.
Yeah, I got faith in him. I think he'll turn it around. But he needs some running backs is what he needs. I mean,
I think one of John and Jay, one of them had the Broncos to win the division. One of them had KC to win the division. So I'm real curious, especially after some of these moves I made here recently to try to make a push. Honestly, I kind of figured the division was wide open, which is one reason why I was willing to make those moves, see if I can't pull it out. So,
how about he started the rookie Jack Campbell, and he only came away with 2 tackles. So
yeah, yep. And what was it, Barnes? That was still there. They had a pretty good showing alongside Anzalone.
Chris Barnes? I thought Chris Barnes was in Arizona.
I think it's Derek Barnes.
Derek Barnes. I'm not sure.
Let's see. Look at that. Yeah, Derek Barnes, Detroit linebacker. Yeah, he put up 12, but I think he definitely was kind of number 2. So be curious to see how Campbell comes along this year. A lot of these guys too, it's a long season. You got to wait for them to come along.
Yep.
Jacksonville and Houston. Looks like Houston's going to pull this out. Al's always a contender. New owner for the Jags. Last year they were 4-13. Definitely made some moves and had a solid draft this year.
Oh, looks like he just lost J.K. Dobbins for the year.
Yeah, that's rough. Cam Akers. Looks like Kyron Williams is getting a lot of usage in this game.
That's what I thought. I pulled him off my taxi squad. I thought that might be the case. I pulled him off a couple days ago because I was worried. I was worried that Cam was gonna Akers was gonna shit the bed.
Mm-hmm. So if that continues through the year, that might be another big blow to the Jags. Ah, that's rough. They've got Burrow too. Put up 8 points for him.
Plus, you had T. Higgins, that Burrow Higgins combo. Oh my god.
Yeah, that stack didn't work out.
Really, that's what killed him this week. I mean,
For sure. I mean, that should get right though.
yeah.
Hopefully, yeah, losing Dobbins is rough. And hopefully Akers can pull out, but right now it looks pretty decidedly a committee. Tennessee and the Colts, man, one of the lowest scoring matchups right now. Titans got 166. The Colts got 183. I think between the, let's see, the Bills have 176, but yeah, solidly in the bottom three teams in scoring right now. Titans just had to roll over this year, it looks like.
Yeah, he's got a lot of zeros that shouldn't necessarily be zeros. I mean, Damian Harris hasn't played yet, but Noah Fant with 0, and Isaiah Simmons still got to play yet too. So I don't know. Like we were talking, he gave up all his players for nothing. So I'm not sure how he's even going to rebuild them.
Yeah. He is getting that Tutu Atwell 6 for 120 right now. Colts, I'm surprised at how low scoring the Colts are right now. They've got Goddard, who we talked about earlier, sitting at 0. Najee Harris put up 5 today. Kenneth Walker's only put up 11, 1 minute left in the game. That's probably it for him.
Yeah.
Definitely some of these offensive players on struggling week 1 offenses.
He's got a couple players on his bench who went off. He didn't start Troy Anderson.
Yeah.
But
The Ravens and the Steelers. Looks like the Steelers are going to win. Ravens dominating that division every year.
yeah, that's wild. Ravens taking advantage of the Titans fiasco too, and then he didn't even start Ayuk. Is that right?
Yeah, he got Ayuk off of me for Madison and
Oh, he got from you. Yeah.
yeah, for Madison
He
and
did.
Gig and
And he didn't start him.
Yep. Started Kadarius No Hands Tony.
That's gotta hurt.
He's still hanging on to DeAndre Swift too. Damn.
But Joey Bosa, game's almost over and he has 1 tackle in the game.
Yeah, man. He's been kind of hard these last couple of years. Hard to manage. The Steelers still have Garrett Wilson yet to play. And they are over 300 points. They look like they're going to be serious business this year.
Yeah. What was their record last year?
Last year they were 6-11.
Just to go from 6-11 to a barn burner week 1. I don't know if they pulled off any trades. this summer. I didn't look, but impressive week 1 for sure when everybody else is struggling.
Yeah. And, of course, the Bengals are also doing really well week 1. It was pretty close there for a while with the Browns, but it looks like the Bengals are definitely going to pull it out.
Yep, he's already over 300 burger.
Yep. 330. His games are winding down. Who's he got left to play? One left to play, and he's at 332. Micah Parsons. Jeez.
Browns have Dawson Knox left. And is that it? No, they got Damone Clark. Damone Clark. I don't know how you say his name, but
Yeah, Browns looking to have a get-right year. They brought in DK Metcalf in the offseason. They brought in Waddle. They brought in Trey Hendrickson, who all had good days for him. Just not able to pull it out against the stacked Bengals. It's definitely one of the toughest divisions in the league. That and the NFC South, two of the toughest.
yeah. Cam getting that 1-game jump on Ravens, I think, is big.
Yeah, that could definitely be a factor this year. The Bills and the Patriots. The Bills look like they got a decent shot at this, and the Patriots did themselves no favors by not setting a lineup in time to get Mahomes in.
Yeah, what's up with that? You all let him win the league last year, and he doesn't start Mahomes week 1.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
that's some sleep at the wheel shit right there. So yeah, good for Bill if he manages to pull this out. Then we got the Jets and the Dolphins. Looks like the Dolphins are going to get it. Jets, of course, are down Jonathan Taylor. And just real uneven offensive starters. I mean, Marquise Brown, 8.9 points. Tyler Lockett, they've got 15 seconds left in the game. He's at 3 points. Mike Williams, 5.8 points. Man, just rough offense.
Yeah.
Has Kendrick Bourne on the bench with 22.5 points. Who would have guessed that? Nobody would guess that.
Shit. No shit.
Hunter Henry, 20 points on the bench. Yeah, just a weird, typical, strange start to the season.
Yep, I'm glad we don't do those double headers anymore. Week 1, that was rough.
Oh, man, real rough. Stafford finished with a decent line. Wow, I'm just noticing that the Rams beat the Seahawks 30-13. Holy shit.
I'm still looking at some of these players the Jets had on their bench, dude. Jesus, their bench points went off.
Yeah, 270 on the bench.
Antoine Winfield on the bench, Amari Hooker on the bench. Jeez.
Yep. They got 3.5 and 7.5 points from their starters and had two almost 30 burgers sitting on their bench.
Yikes.
And, it could just be IDP variance this week. Week 1, you just, can't draw any conclusions from a lot of times.
Yeah. He said it'll take some time. IDP is going to be on top. You got to get those right for the first couple.
One now that we're looking at it that really stands out to me is he started Devin Bush over Divine Diablo.
Yeah, I was going through some of these just don't make any sense.
Yeah, that one definitely seems to be pretty clear. Start Diablo.
I don't know.
Interesting. Deion Jackson, he's on the bench, but he finished with -1. Man, what a mess for Indianapolis's running backs. Who else ran the ball for them today? I mean, obviously Richardson, but I mean, I know Moss was out, so who else was even there to run the ball?
Oh Jesus, what's his name? Fuck. The year 2 guy, and it was not good. I think he averaged like less than 2 yards a carry.
Jeez, that's pretty rough.
I don't know. I hope Richardson comes back. They're saying he's going to start practicing now, so week 4, or he could come back week 5. He has to be out for 4 weeks. So
Taylor.
So yeah.
JT.
So
this could be a difference maker for the Jets in Miami. They tied last year at 12-5. So yeah, I like these divisional matchup to start.
Yeah.
Starting the year this way.
Yeah. It's the first all 3 games, right? Your first 3 games is division, or no? Let's see. Only 2 of mine are.
Yes.
No, 3, because the week 3 is a double header. So
right.
So your 3 weeks are in your division.
Yeah.
Yeah, double header week 3, double header week 4, double header week 8, double header week 12. So you're gonna get some bye weeks in there, probably with week 4, with week 8 and 12. But I remember we used to do triple headers, and that sucked.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So a few matchups that we went through to keep a real close eye on would be the Rams and the Cardinals. They're pretty evenly split. Gosh, looks like a lot of these games have differentiated themselves. And the Bills in New England. Everybody else, it's pretty lopsided after these 4:00 games.
Yeah, I'm sitting here watching the Patriots are driving down 5. They're near the 40-yard line, so a minute and a half left. They got to score a touchdown, obviously. Philly, see if their defense can hold. See this Miami Chargers game. Minute left, 36-34.
Yeah. So XFF, Seahawks Niners, that's big. Good for Ron.
Yeah.
He's been putting in a lot of work the past couple of years.
He was quiet this offseason, wasn't
he? Yeah. Maybe we'll get another commission show soon. He can come on and talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, he has Ayuk, he has Devontae. Not much for running backs, but I mean, Mostert's doing all right today.
Yeah. He's definitely put some work in on the team the past few years.
Yep. So what else do you want to touch on? Did you listen to the shows today at all? I didn't get a chance to. I will later this week, but anything special on the shows? Raven show and Billy John show?
John and Jay had Sean on to talk about the Titans fiasco.
Gotcha. And is that a good debate? Did John stomp him, or what happened?
No, John didn't stomp him. John brought up John let Jay kind of take lead, if I remember right. And Sean was calm, and Sean talked about how a lot of the mistakes of the past and the uneven application of the bylaws, some of the not great enforcement in the past is partially led to the situation going into this year where the commission team is trying to apply everything is by the book and completely evenly and across the board to everybody. And the violation's a violation, and referring to the bylaws for how to deal with it. And, you know, making sure that nothing slips and making sure that no one feels slighted because something slipped. So I know in years past that's been a thing, and this is the year to correct it. And I think it just so happened that the Titans were the first people that got called on something.
Yeah, and that's like I've been pushing this for a while. I mean, I'm all for rules, and same with like Will is very vocal about it. But have rules, stick to them. Doesn't matter who the person is or if it's an infraction, it's an infraction. Everything should
Yep.
be printed out. Okay, first time's a warning, cool. Second time, whatever that may be, I don't know what it is. Is it a salary cap penalty or is it a draft pick or whatever? But I guess like we were talking about is, can the salary cap penalty, should it take place this year? Should it take place next year? I don't know what all that,
Right.
how they're doing that. So
Yeah. But yeah, definitely the approach should be any infraction gets penalized, and whatever those penalties are clearly spelled out. So the commissions need their hands to be clean, essentially. You know, it shouldn't be any case where the commission is having to make a decision. It should be applying something that's written down and then referring more or less to a chart for what the penalty is.
no, 100% agree.
Yeah. So we'll see how it works out. I don't know. It's not a huge major infraction or anything, but the whole hubbub the Titans made about it, I think, blew it way out of proportion. And
Yeah, it's not that hard. They have two owners. How are they missing all this? I don't get that. I mean,
yeah, for sure, they can participate all they want, but get your roster right.
yep.
So, all right, Adam. Well, I'm gonna let you get out of here, and yeah, we'll put this out, see how everybody likes it, and do it again next week.
All right, buddy. We'll see you next week.
See ya. Take care.
Bye.